Hello and welcome to Growing in Business interview series. I'm your host, Flemming Johnson, and today I'm joined by Austin Helms, who is founding partner at NuBlue Service Group. Austin, thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. Again, like you said, my name is Austin Helms. I'm from Valdez, North Carolina. Grew up there my entire life. Graduated college from UNC Chapel Hill, and I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I moved to Charlotte in 2016 to work for a family business out of Charlotte to help them start what is now called Zoom Up, which is an investment arm of the family that invests into young men to get into the trades, either by starting a business from scratch, like I did, investing in existing trade businesses, or acquiring companies. And so that's kind of how I've gotten to where I'm at. And it all started, back home when I was 7 years old. I was selling candy out of a shoebox at my sister's basketball games.
Outstanding. Tell me, in your business now, what are some of the common misconceptions that you come across about running a business, and how do you address them?
Misconceptions would be that, sometimes you don't need to analyze, like overanalyzation, like making sure the numbers work. Sometimes the numbers don't make sense. But when you find really, really good people, you should bring them on. And so don't be scared of, overpaying. A lot of people think they may have to overpay for talent, but really paying talent for what they're worth actually will get you more than what you bargained for. So that's one thing that, I think people get this misconception that they can't find really good talent, or they can't find people that want to work. But I jokingly tell, especially in our space, I tell tradesmen all the time that are with competitors, they say, how do you find good talent? We can't find anybody that works hard anymore. And they always get upset with me because I always tell them, it's like, if I looked at myself every single day in the mirror and just told myself that, like, hey, like, I'm I'm worthless, or I'm not worth anything, or you know, I'm not I'm not going to be successful today. If I told myself that every single day, I would probably, that's what would happen. But if I look at myself every single day and say, hey, we're going to find somebody, we're going to find young talent that wants to come to work, wants to work hard, wants to learn. Um, because like talent today and the labor force, especially in the trades, where you've got this like shortage of workers. It's not that there's not workers there. It's that the workers have changed. They've got way more distractions than they used to ever have. I jokingly tell other people that, like, hey, when you were 18 years old, you didn't have seven girls texting you, Snapchatting you, Instagram, Facebook. You didn't have those distractions at work. And so, you were working so hard to go home to see your wife or girlfriend or whatever it may be when you were 18. And so you weren't getting to talk to her all day long. And so there's just way more, I think there was still as just much distraction back then, but there's way more distraction that's in the palm of your hand, that young people have today. So I really think that talent is there, unlike what people think. It's just a matter of learning how to change, learning how to adapt to how those people want to work.
Okay. We hear a lot about work-life balance. Tell me, how do you maintain a work-life balance as a business owner? And do you have any personal rituals or habits that keep you motivated and focused?
So this would be a lot of credit to my parents. My mom, while I was in college, she used to call me every single day and just say, balance, Austin. It's all about balance. Have you played your guitar today? Have you gone for a run today? Have you prayed today? Have you tried a new food today? So I've had that kind of ingrained in my life since a kid. So if I'm really angry, I will go, get it out by playing sports. I will get it out by just listening to music in the car, not listening to a podcast, just to like make my mind just go blank, just to really kind of de-stress. Every now and then I would just scream in the car just to get it out, and not to scream at other people. Just people must think I'm crazy. I do charity auctions for fun. It gives me, I'm a benefit auctioneer, so it gives me kind of an outlet to go have fun and joke around, make fun, just to help people and raise money. But no, like true rituals I have. I love to go out to eat. I love to talk to waitresses and waiters. I love to, you know, I think the service industry specifically, a lot of success comes from waiters and waitresses and, you know, how those people treat people. And like that's an outlet for me to also learn. So I think, you know, really it's probably just athletics and I do a lot of traveling. And then for fun, I do auctions. So it's just some ways for me to kind of escape the everyday life of work. Um,
Wow, that's a diverse group of interests that you have, but it sounds like it works well.
yeah.
Yeah. In the constantly evolving business landscape, how do you stay adaptable and open to change? Are there any specific strategies that you use to remain innovative?
Always listen to your people. Your people and your team members and employees are always going to have ideas, but listen to them, dive deep into them. A lot of the business philosophies that we have today come from the people that we hired, not myself. And so those people have now, granted, I've heard 1,000 ideas and we may have gone with 10, but really, and then that creates a better work-life environment when you actually listen to your employees and go with the ideas that they want. And then the other piece is like committees. People have strong opinions on things, and you say, okay, great, I'd love for you to volunteer in this committee. Um, and then they don't volunteer. And then you're like, okay, well, I've opened the door. And you know, if you don't want to give advice, that's great, but you need to volunteer your time to do this. So that's kind of one way. And you know, I have not gone to a lot of conferences, so I just try and stay, you know, as um, you know, as open-minded as possible when it comes about the trades and what we do.
I'm going to ask you now to kind of look forward. Uh, could you offer us a glimpse into your future plans and goals for your business? What do you envision for the next chapter of your entrepreneurial journey?
So our goal with NuBlue is to create 1,000 millionaires. So we want to create a unique brand and unique model that can scale across the nation via an employee ownership model. I think especially in the MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, home services space, there's been a flood of private equities just dumping money in, and it's just people trading paper to make a dollar on real tradespeople. And I think that model has to quit. I think that there has to be an evolution in, you know, the trades, especially in home services. And so I think the power and the wealth needs to go back to the actual tradespeople themselves. And so that's what we see. We see us growing throughout the Sun Belt and West. So growing south first and then kind of expanding out when we are ready. But our goal is, you know, to create 1,000 millionaires, and whatever it takes to do that, we want to do it.
Outstanding. What advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs who are, say, just starting their journey or who are facing challenges in their business?
The hardest part about starting a business is starting a business. So if you started the business, you've taken the biggest leap of faith that most people will not take. Um, I would say to be patient, which I don't usually have, but also be impatient. So if you want to grow your business, you have to be very impatient. I tell my buddies this all the time. Persistence wins in business almost 99.9% of the time. You know, if you're trying to pursue a female or pursue something where you ought to be way patient and not be blowing them up over text, then persistence doesn't always win. But in business, when you're really trying to win, and if you're being, you know, you're following good morals, you're following, you know, being an ethical person, and you're being persistent, you're going to win. You know, salespeople that are calling people on holiday weekends and blowing them up at 10 p.m. at night. That's not the kind of persistence I'm talking about. I'm talking about consecutive persistence and follow-ups and, you know, being a person that like, hey, we want to do business. We're hungry. We're young. We're trying to get our business off the ground. We would love an opportunity, that type of persistence. So yeah, I really think that some sales or business, because a lot of the early stage of business is selling. is, they don't have enough persistence, and that's kind of really what can limit the growth. And I guess the other piece is that always answer your phone. Always answer. You never know who's calling you, even if it's a telemarketer. You never know who's calling you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for your time today, Austin. It's great to meet you, to hear your story, and to hear your passion for your work, especially with regard to the trades and expanding that and the potential that is there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Certainly. And to everyone watching, I hope to see you in our next episode.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say?
I'm good. I'm good.
You're
That's
good?
perfect. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir. Take care
Sweet.
now.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He's happy.